Hi, this is Deborah. Welcome to my channel. I almost got 25,000 subscribers, so I'm like, this would be the best Christmas present. This video is to help you 40 and 50, and I should say 30-year-olds too. This is going to help you immensely. I am almost 65 years old, and a lot of people compliment me on my skin and face. I have been using moisturizer since I was a teenager. And in my late 30s, early 40s, I started botox and started maintaining this area. I had to get it, not just for cosmetic reasons, but because I was in a couple bad accidents and one of my eyebrows got raised higher, so I had to get it, the other one, to match. So that's when I got started in this. And I see a lot of 60 and 70-year-old ladies, and they are looking at the retinol and they're thinking about retin A. And I want to stop them and say, wait a minute, it's too late. If you already have deep wrinkles, the only way to get rid of them is with a Fraxel laser or a facelift. I mean, you have to go to dramatic medical issues if you've already got deep wrinkles. You have to start in your 30s. And I know a lot of you are saying, well, I don't have any wrinkles. Well, that's when you start the maintenance. Because see, Botox is really a maintenance. It doesn't, if you don't start early, you're going to get caught up in trying to correct your deep wrinkles. And it's almost impossible. So those of you who have the number 11s, if you start now, it won't progress. And if you start to see a little crease there, it's time. Now, I don't like Botox anymore. I like dysport, but I'm finding it very hard to find it in my area because I think it's all about the reps and what they're going to charge the plastic surgeons. But the dysport gives me no headaches and I have no side effects. I just love it. So if you're starting to get the wrinkles here, start the fillers now. Start filling that up now. And also a lot of women will get this hollow place here. So start filling that up. And then I noticed that my cheeks were like falling and like I was getting these horrible jowls. So I really studied my face. That's what you need to do. You need to study your face because the person who injects you is not got that kind of time, but you know your face. So I studied my face and I go, what can I do to alleviate that, the look of those horrible jowls? So I went and got the Voluma XC. It's about $700 and it lasts 2 years. It is worth every dime. So if you see a little bit of jowls coming in, get an injection here, here, and here. It fills you up a little bit and it brings up this jawline just a tad. Now, that has really changed my life. It changed how I look at myself. It changed how I carry myself. If you look good, I think you act good. And if you're happy with yourself, then everything falls in place. That's how I look at it. I don't do this for men. I do this for me. And so that's how I feel. Now, on my last vacation, these men made a comment that I was an old hag. And I started crying a little bit. And then I go, you know what? Those are jerks. A real gentleman would appreciate beauty, whether it's from the inside or the outside, right? And I realized I should never, ever let anybody make me feel bad. Because if I know I'm doing the best that I can to maintain what God gave me. I even had a plastic surgeon ask, who did my nose? And I said, God did. This is my daddy's nose. It's not my mother's nose. So back to what I was talking about. I realized how ridiculous that is for me to let a bunch of men who were you know, intoxicated, getting ready to cheat on their wives, how I let that affect my whole day. Everybody gets old. They are going to get old. And but I thought during that same night, I go, maybe it's time to get a facelift. Well, I don't have the downtime to get cut here, you know, and they pull you back. I don't have a couple weeks to recover. But I recently found out, if you ever watched Theresa Romer, that's Roemer, she is a very successful woman. She had what's called the thread lift, and she has a special kind of threads put into her face. They're not made in China. You have to find out where the threads are made, because there's all different kinds of threads. Now, what they do, they just make a little hole, different places in your face where you think you need some issues. Now, she had them placed here, and that smooths out that. I don't think I need that, but I could use some threading this way, you know, this way. So what it is, they make a little hole with a cannula. Then they stick this thing up in there. It's no bigger than, you know, the size of a needle, and it hooks to your skin, and it has little barbs. That's the way I call it, barbed wire. It's got little burrs, you know, like a little baby fish hook, and it sticks there, and then they pull that out, and that stays, and then they massage it up so that it does stay, and it stays in there for a couple years, and then it dissolves. So, and it produces collagen, which is what everybody needs. So I don't think this procedure is very expensive, maybe $2,000, I don't know. But that's a whole lot less than a $10,000 facelift. So look into the thread lift, and I think it's extremely interesting. And if they put lidocaine on you, you only feel a little pinch. It's the same, Theresa Romer said it was like the same feeling as when you pluck an eyebrow. So I hope this has answered a lot of your questions about maintaining that youthful look when you're in your 30s and 40s. So when you're my age, you look really smooth and good, and you're happy with yourself. All right. Happy Thanksgiving. Bye.